My name is Chixidi Vasquez, and I'm Mexican American. Did you know that Mexico is currently the biggest Hispanic country with over one-fourth of all Spanish speakers in the world being Mexican? Even though this country is known for its food, beautiful places, and rich history, there is, however, some dark areas surrounding the country, beginning with women's rights. Unfortunately, women in Mexico are still fighting to earn their rights, and Mexico has this internal belief and misogyny about traditional gender roles and what a woman should and should not be. And an example of this is that the man. What I'm trying to say is that there's some traditional gender roles that impact the day-to-day life in Mexico. An example of this is that the man is seen as the provider, and he has to support his family, he has to have a job, he needs to be financially stable. And due to this, the man is able to get out of the house, to go with his friends, go drink, be able to rest, but because he is seen as a provider and he deserves a break. But with the women, since they're young, they are taught that their place is at the house, that they have to cook and clean and take care of the children and the husband, and that they are the center of the family. It cannot function without them. So she needs to be in the house. She cannot be out. And as a result of this, the daughters that grow up in these kinds of households, they are not allowed to go out. They have to be supervised. They only taught the essentials for a house, which was just cooking and cleaning and how to take care of kids and stuff like that. And even though sometimes women try to leave these areas by, let's say, they get a small job and stuff like that, they still are faced with criticism from their communities, because since the woman is leaving her duty, her family, and her husband, she is seen as playing the role of a man. She is told that she is leaving behind her family, that she is abandoning them. And sometimes whenever women do get some kinds of jobs, their husband leave them. And as I said before, she is faced with criticism for working. She's also faced with criticism because her husband left her. She is seen as somebody who is worthless, that her husband was right to leave her, that she left her role, so she's left with nothing. And I'm gonna get a little personal here, but when I was younger, my dad, he used to work basically from morning to very late in the evening. And so he would come home, my mom would have his dinner ready, and she would serve him, and after that he would go to drink, he would go with his friends. But then when my mom started to work as taking care of some kids from the neighborhood, she was faced with backlash from my grandmother and from my dad. My dad would be angry that the food wasn't ready, that the house only looked simple, clean, and my grandmother was telling her that she has to leave her job, because if not, her husband's gonna leave her. And I got upset when I heard that, because my mom was just trying to get a little bit of independence. But the thing that remembers the most was that this was said by a woman who came from a much older generation, who probably had it worse than when my mom was taught of how to raise children and stuff. But this is something that's very embedded in women, that they teach it to the children in the house that they're raising, because that's the only thing they know. They only teach what is known to them. And whenever women try to leave these kinds of situations, they have a fear. Excuse me, let me correct myself. Many women have the desire to leave, but they can't, because since they have no skill, since they have never had a job, many of them only know the basics of simple work life. If they leave, they will have nothing. They will not have money, they will not have the family support, they will not have the community. Because since they're leaving their traditional roles, they are alone. And many of them are afraid to be alone because they want to have resources to support them. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to bring awareness to this issue. We need to show these women that we understand them and that they do have somebody to be their guide, to be their support, and that they do have a community. We need to build the first step into ending the machismo in the Mexican country. We need to show these women that they are supported, they are loved, and they do have the rights. Thank you for listening.